welcome people, how's it going? It's about time I hop on an Instagram live. It's been a minute, but I have got a lot of updates. I wasn't sure to do this as a normal video or to do it on Instagram live or whatever, but here I am anyway. I haven't said anything for about a month, like over a month, which is very rare. I've just been doing a lot of reflecting and integrating, and yes, Joel, what we saying? It's going to be some fifth dimensional conversation, Joel, and I don't know if you're exactly on that, so you got to take more psychedelics. Just my co-worker's joined the chat, and he hasn't seen the fifth dimension yet. I'm sorry, so I might sound crazy to you, but you ain't done enough mushrooms, so. But yeah, welcome. What we saying, bro? I'm good, Maji. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't know. Don't open Pandora's box. Ignorance is bliss. I'm sorry. I'm just chatting shit. Anyway, yeah, what we saying? I just thought I'd hop on Instagram live. I wasn't sure if I'd do a normal video or an Instagram live, but I'm here anyway. I just gonna chat some shit. Got a lot of updates. A lot has been going on, and I have a lot on my mind. I want to speak, so stay if you please. But the fact that I'm live is not exactly relevant. I just have stuff I want to say, sort of, and I don't know where to begin. So I guess I'll just cut to it. But yeah, so yeah, I haven't uploaded anything for like a month, so it's getting weird. Like I need to stay with it because it's a good thing in a way, yeah. Because I feel like when I'm perpetually making YouTube videos, I kind of get stuck in that mold of like what I'm used to doing. But like I've been away for like over a month now, so it feels weird coming back to it. Like I'm almost not used to it. But that's a blessing in disguise in a way, or it can be, in terms of to kind of break the habitual mold of like it'd be good to have like a long break and then come back, because you can almost approach it from a different angle. And that's what I'm trying to do. We'll see with time. I'm always trying to evolve in general, but yeah, so what the fuck am I going on about? So I don't know, it's weird doing it live sometimes, because it's like you're being perceived. It changes the name of the game, but I mean, that might just be a projection. Anyway, so what have I been up to? A lot. I've seen a lot. I've been travelling around England quite a lot. Looking at culture and the way that the world is, how society seems to be. I've been in quite a few rough areas, like Coventry recently. You guys should check out, by the way, there's like endless documentaries on the internet of like, even in Britain, you know, like in London there's like knife crime and like gangs, like drug gangs, etc. Even around here, like the thing is that the so-called the suburbs and these villages, they can have like a facade of being like a nice area, like around here, but like it's next door to the slums. It's next door to these like this gang violence sort of stuff, and a lot of it does go on in my area. But like I've lived in villages and that, and people can like kind of dismiss you, like, oh, you know, because it's like you're in the suburbs as if you're privileged, but it's like just around the corner. Like here it looks kind of nice around this area, yeah, but then like you walk like 10 minutes up the road and there's like these blocks of flats, and these kind of like these ghettos or bandos, and the reason why you guys should check this out is because it can help you understand where you come from in terms of potentially your trauma, or trauma that a lot of you likely do not know that you have, in terms of and it can be very relevant in terms of understanding whether or not conspiracy theories are valid or not. Are conspiracy theorists just crazy, or are they onto something, or what? It's like, look at the survival situation of a lot of people on this planet, and that will do a lot for you. I've just watched a little bit of it before I jumped on here, and what am I talking about? So basically the mainstream media doesn't convey a lot of this. They do, but like a lot of people are kind of living in their bubble, and I've been living in a bubble in terms of like, I've just been in this house. Jobs that I have had has been around this town. Hi Katie. I'm just talking about Coventry. So this girl has just joined the chat now. I went to go see her. I probably won't accept any requests right now, by the way, people. Sorry. So I may be in a bit, but I just want to give an update and just talk some general. I got so much to talk about. Hello, I'm glad you're here. No pressure to stay, but yeah, I've only just got on here really. So yeah, that Katie in the chat, if you guys can see, she's a very like-minded friend of mine, and I went to meet her recently, and this is what I was talking about with. Well, I kind of don't want to disclose where you are. I didn't really anticipate. Anyway, I went to travel up to her area anyway, that she grew up in for the most part. And this is what I've just been talking about for a little bit. Yeah, so I sent you, Katie, a second ago, 2 documentaries on WhatsApp. I don't expect you to watch, but one of them is titled, I'll pull them up here so you can see them. The city overrun with 12-year-old dealers, or drug dealers. And if my ad block was working. So yeah, it's basically, I super recommend you guys check this out, and for those who have just joined, I say that understanding documentaries of this nature can help you understand trauma that a lot of us don't even know that we have, and it can, and even if we don't live exactly in this area, I was just saying how my area has a facade of looking nicer, but it's right next door to areas like this. It's on the same land ultimately, and it's only like, I got some crazy looking rough flats next door to me. I really like this lady. She's just like, I mean, she's in here buying a Red Bull and stuff, but she's just like, yeah, she's in this shop that's just exclusively full of poison, and she's just saying how like there's no funding in the area at all, and like the kids have nowhere to go, and everyone's just on the streets doing drugs and shit. And yeah, this is a major city in Britain that I went to recently. And then we've got another documentary here, which is in Las Vegas. And I'll get more into why you guys need to educate yourselves on this. So these people this is major, and there is so, like, in terms of entertainment, yeah, like, this stuff is so mad. Drew Binsky, this guy is super cool as far as I'm aware. So there's loads of like, essentially, the homeless are living underneath highways. This guy is like super addicted to fentanyl, etc. And there's so many of them. So if we can see here, oh yeah, look at this. This is good. This quote here. So that's where all these homeless people are living, right? Addicts under the road. Here we got a quote. I hate being hated by most everyone for what other people do. Not all homeless people are bad. So what they're saying is like, people are hating on the homeless. As far as this is how I interpret this. People are hating for the homeless, but the homeless are actually a victim to the wealth disparity. I hate being hated by most everyone for what other people do. Not all homeless people are bad. So again, it's tricky, yeah, because if you're familiar with like Payday Monsanto, I think his kind of flaw is he's too 3D, so to speak. In contrast to Mr. Traumatic, we'd say he's 5D. Katie in the chat, I'd say, is 5D or more. And what I mean by D is like dimension. And what I mean is like, a lot of these people, like the homeless, they're like being victims to the government and the external world. And they're right to do so, to an extent. But I think it's a error to like actually believe in the material paradigm, in terms of like, you have to believe is a tricky word. I swear there's multiple definitions to belief. Like, you don't, what is it? Because I was going to say you have to believe in miracles Terence McKenna says he doesn't believe in believing. Like, if it's not there, then why would you believe in it? Like, but there's a difference between like a belief system and like believing in terms of faith. You have to have faith in miracles in terms of like, when you take into account like metaphysics as well, the potential that this is a dream or things of that nature. Like, anything's possible. The mystery is always there in front of you, which is the kind of the eternal presence of God, or it's a tricky word to use for a lot of people, but what am I saying? Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know, just a lot of these homeless people are, yeah, like, the world is bad, but like, and you are a victim to it to an extent, and this is a lot of why I'm bringing this up, is just, so yeah, I recommend you guys just check out documentaries of this nature. They're not hard to find. Kensington Avenue, Philadelphia is a very good one. It's like this Babylon grid, pinnacle of Babylon. By Babylon I just mean like Western poison culture of concrete, and like for some reason we've left nature and that's why we're all getting sick. But it's literally like the entire street is populated by like exclusively drug addicts. It's like there's literally it's the Great Depression where people turn to zombies on the street. But it's just seeing things like this. I'll move on in a second and like give a larger context to why the fuck I'm talking about this. I don't know, I don't need to show you, I'm struggling to find a clip of it. But I put it in, because I'm actually working on some visuals for a music video. I'll show you the intro. For the conscious rapper community, I put at the beginning, I'll show you the intro for this music video now. So yeah, this is a music video I'm working on. It's not done yet, but here's the introduction. So it's unlisted at the minute, so it's for the conscious rapper community. So I made these visuals, yeah, I'll just show you the intro. At the start, it actually shows Kensington Avenue, Philadelphia. So, like, this is nature, yeah, this is where we're meant to be, right? So I got all these clips from the internet, and then what you're about to see is Kensington Avenue, Philadelphia, of the zombies.
So they say this life is a matrix. Why do people come here to live and die? We give and try all of our heart and mind to regain ourselves.
Yeah, I tried my best. And hi Karen, if you just joined. But yeah, these are some visuals that I made for the conscious rapper community. But yeah, so if you saw there, so that was meant to be the contrast. It's like, this is health. This is how we're supposed to live in harmony with nature, with living food, fresh air, and nature and beauty, and you know, it's just intuitive, right? And then I clipped to Kensington, Philadelphia, and it's like the ultimate contrast is how I tried to do the intro for the video, if you understand what I was aiming for. And I mean, the quality isn't the best here, but yeah, it's just like there are endless videos of like tours of, yeah, like cities and upon cities, and of just completely like written with like a fentanyl crisis, etc. So to like zoom out and to holistically like tie all the loose ends of why am I talking about all this. So I originally got on here and just said, yeah, recently I went to see a friend. I went to a city, and exposing myself and yourself to more experience is what a lot of the youth needs. In terms of a lot of us, we're just living in this bubble, similar habits, similar content consumption, and like you kind of can't see out of like your bubble. So I went and traveled to these bigger cities, and this isn't like new for a lot of people. I've just like been busy living in my local area, and I rarely move around. Like, this was actually one of the first times I've like ever got a train, like basically. So but yeah, when you see like these cities, like basically yeah, I recommend you guys look at the documentaries on how a lot of people's survival situation, even in Britain, but all across the world, is how like masses, like most of the population are struggling financially, and this can help clear up confusion about like potential conspiracy theories. Yeah, it can clear up confusion and help you understand your past. If you come from one of these areas, for example, like if you're born in the midst of London and you just get involved with the people around you, like you don't really understand because you're really born with like a blank slate. And you see how looking at documentaries of, say, London, it can help to like recontextualize and help you understand your potential trauma, and perhaps you have trauma that you haven't realized yet. But yeah, it's so yeah, I was just looking at some of those documentaries before I come on here, and it's clear that Earth needs healing in a lot of ways. I'm grateful that I wasn't born like in like London, like in the gangs and stuff, but it's still everywhere. Like this is the state of the Earth, like, and there are some people living it up in luxuries and that who kind of manifest that and get lucky, but like I wouldn't even want that for myself, almost knowing that the rest of the world is like dying in chaos. Like things like Gaza. And I don't even know exactly what the main point is. I'm just talking, and I'll try and tie it all together as best I can. I just have so much to say because, I ain't spoke for like a month. But say like Gaza, right? Like the war zone in Palestine. It's like people are actually just born into that. Like you just... Because for me, incarnation is such an interesting thing. And like how culture dismisses existentialism so much. Like I call existentialism like the elephant in the room, the main elephant in the room. It's just like there must be a larger context to our incarnation, because like how is it that you just incarnate in Gaza, or you just incarnate in London gangs or in the ghetto? It's like, are you just really like a victim to it? Like because it feels like you're a victim to your incarnation, like from, I guess, the ego's perspective. It's just like you just are born and you just get on with it, and then like this is what a lot of what I define as awakening. It's like, it's just, how did you get here? Like, how did you get into this body? Or so it seems, where it just like, it doesn't feel like, and this is how the vast majority of people see it this day and age, and in this culture especially, is, yeah, it doesn't feel like you ask to incarnate. And everyone can relate to that. Katie said, Buddhism helped me comprehend this. Yeah. Yeah. So I know that you can, and like, for me, like in my psychedelic pinnacle awakenings, etc., it's like you understand the whole thing, like you choose the incarnation to learn. It's like a curriculum for awakening almost, but I don't know, that's very slippy stuff. That's like when you're literally like in psychosis, peaking on fucking mushrooms and DMT and shit, and like that's some very slippy shit. And that's the thing, is there's so many levels to this game. It's like we can point at the external world as if we're a victim to it, but it's like I said earlier in this stream, it's like, in terms of believing in miracles or having faith or room for miracles, is like metaphysically, what are we dealing with? Like, is it a dream or is it physical? But like, how come you end up behind this pair of eyes and not any other pair of eyes, type of thing? I'm sorry if I'm not being holistic again. No pressure to remain in this life. I feel a bit rusty. I haven't done this for a long time, and sometimes it's weird doing it live when people are watching you, but I appreciate anyone who's staying here. So let me try and wrap up what I'm trying to say. Well, I don't know. I do got a bit of brain fog, so just bear with me. But yeah, I was just saying about, like these rough areas, like how is it that children are born into poverty? And from the child's perspective, it's like they're a total victim to it. And it really sometimes makes you feel like you can get this kind of resentment. Like what the fuck? Like my old boss, my boss is just like 3D normal NPC for the most part. I know that's not the most mindful language, but I'm just trying to communicate what most people can understand. But he's just a normal guy, like most people out here. He says, if God does exist, he's a cunt. That stuck with me for a long time. Because his dad got hit by a car and fucking died. So, and again, it's like when he says, if God exists, he's a cunt. It's like, yeah, that's because you're in the shoes of you're just born. There's no explanation. You're literally left in silence. You just incarnate on a whim. Your memory is basically non-existent when you're a fucking child. It depends about trauma and stuff potentially, but obviously it's cliche that you don't remember anything when you're 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. And then you just slowly emerge, and you're just what the fuck? And there's no answer. And society just assumes that you cannot answer these questions. Oh, we'll never know. You can't know. It's impossible to know. But to take it as a given that it's impossible to know itself is a dogma, or an ideology in terms of that's how science is religion. It depends. Obviously, I know that's a large claim. Take it with grains of salt. I'm saying to take it as an absolute that you cannot know the core existential questions. That in itself is an absolute truth. So you have to be open to the possibility of a existential recontextualization, I guess, of you never know. You may meet a miracle. You may awaken. There's so much possibility. And in terms of miracles and people being victims to the kind of external corruption, again, in terms of payday Monsanto, is your paradigm will actually limit you. Where if your paradigm doesn't have room for anything outside of a material paradigm, you will never get anything else. If you don't have room or a speck of faith somewhere on at least the outskirts of your paradigm or worldview or philosophy for a miracle, then it will never happen. If you're completely convinced that we're just bacteria on a rock in space, what I'm saying is you have to almost manifest miracles where it's yeah, you are the placebo, as Illuminati Congo says. It's if you think miracles are impossible, then you're likely not going to get one. I don't know. Right, what the fuck am I going on about? This is relevant, so I don't know if Katie's still in the chat. This is still new. It's not exactly done yet. But so this girl that I met recently. Ignore the fucking, what's her name? I always go to say Madeline McCann, which sounds bad without the I know it's not Madeline McCann, it's Marilyn Monroe or something. But this isn't my wallpaper, right? I moved into my sister's room. Yeah. But as you can see, so I met Katie, or Quintessence Music, right? Who I believe is still in the chat. And she is so amazing. She's literally blown me away, yeah. It's I travel to her city and I see her lifestyle, and she's sent me home with just this alkaline food list, for example. And it's just a bit of paper that she just but this is what we mean by manifestation. Is so just shit like this, yeah. It's literally an image of alkaline smoothies in fucking jars. And we've got custard apple, which I never tried a custard apple before I met this girl recently. And she's literally been saving my soul. And so what is this? It seems weird to a lot of you, right? It's like an affirmation wall. And so we have to understand, right, that yeah, again, it's about what is your paradigm. It's like, you have to ask yourself, do you believe, or do you have room for potential manifestation or law of attraction? You have to ask yourself, what is your paradigm, what is your worldview and philosophy in terms of, yeah, if you're operating under a material paradigm, then your thoughts are like, you're living by like a linear logic, and it's actually limiting you, and you don't even know that you're trapped. So it's like, it's crazy metaphysical stuff, and it can feel gaslighting sometimes. But yeah, are you in a dream? Are you bacteria on a rock? Did you ask for this incarnation, or what's your kind of paradigm? And the reason I say all this is because a lot of this stuff here is, for example, I am grateful for financial abundance. And it's very tricky stuff potentially in terms of living from the wish fulfilled. But you can actually manifest it from that, where like you're grateful for things that you know are on the way, and you actually bring it about through that process. But if like the more grateful you are, the more you'll be blessed. But like potentially if you neglect what you have to be grateful for, like a lot of us can walk around with a lot of like discontentment, even though we have so much that we don't recognize. Again, contrast your situation with the situation in Gaza or a war zone, how bad it can get. And what I've said before, I believe, like, where if you don't put your own gratitude in check by, hey, I'm warm, I have clothes, I have Wi-Fi connection, I have a bit of food, I have water, a water distiller, I have clean water, I have fresh air. If you don't put your own gratitude in check, reality or God will put your gratitude in check for you by taking away what you neglected. And this is what I've experienced, is I'm not grateful for my fresh air, so then I end up in a job where there is no fresh air, and then I'm fucking grateful for what I took for granted. Even the poor have rich days. Yeah, I do see you. Sorry for not accepting your request. I may do it later. Sorry, I'm just maybe not in the mood exactly right now, but I really appreciate anyone who's interacting at all. It means the world. So yeah, that's just what I've experienced, you know. It's like, you take for granted and you're blind to what the fruits that you do have now, and then when they get taken away, you just wish that you could have what you took for granted. It's shit like that. Like before, I had like a health scare where, I mean, I was perceiving that I needed to have a piss like all the time. I needed to go to the toilet like constantly. And it was real. For like 3 months, I had like and I was, since then I've tried to take very good care of my health. And when I was going through that, I was like so grateful for like what I have now. But even when I have it now, I can take it for granted. When I lost my health, I was like, oh, I just wish I could just be like a healthy young lad again and like run around without this fucking paranoia and of my health deteriorating. We are all able to be grateful for something. Each breath is a blessing. Facts. That's what I mean. And I've had jobs where my clean oxygen has been taken away. But from that place, I can appreciate the clean oxygen. And I said this before, it's like, live from a place of the deepest hell. What do I mean? That doesn't sound like the superist wisdom. What I mean is, live from a place of lack and scarcity. That sounds stupid, right? A lot of you disagree on the surface. What do I mean? I mean, so that you know what you do have. If you can, like, I think they call it, like, negative visualization, where, like, you have so much. You have to imagine being in a situation with, like, try and put yourself in Gaza, in your mind's eye, right? There's no fucking clean water at all. You're literally drinking from puddles, right? There's bombs and fear and everyone's dehydrated. I can't even begin to comprehend it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I can't, like, these days I struggle to, like, I'm struggling to, like, actually buy anything for myself when I know that shit like that is going on. Like, that's what I mean, yeah. I was watching these documentaries of, like, these horrible survival situations where so many people are suffering so much, yeah, and then an advert comes on, some Hollywood production. It's like, what the fuck is the wealth disparity? Like, how is, like, people out here shooting movies that cost, like, multiple millions, yeah, and, like, on the same planet there's, like, the absolute polar opposite of that financial situation. It's like, I even saw something Katie put on her story a long time ago, I think. I can't remember what it was, but it's like, you know, like, Hollywood celebrities walking the red carpet, everyone's fucking taking pictures of them. It's like, that's fucking disgusting. What the fuck is happening? Like, that is... Hello, Third Eye, hello. How's it going? But yeah, so, on the same... We live on a planet where... up here, we've got Hollywood celebrities walking on a red carpet with people taking pictures of them and, like, praising these celebrities. But then we've all got the slums on the same planet, and it's like, I just, like, the wealth disparity and ego, and the ego is the devil to an extent of like, the greed is the devil. But yeah, no, it just blows my mind that that there's like $1 million Hollywood production happening on the same planet as, like, such widespread poverty. And I have one of these adverts in the midst of a documentary about poverty. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm struggling to holistically tie everything together. Let me read some comments. We can't get to heaven without first going through hell. Without going through hell first. Yeah. I mean, they call it as above, so below. Like, have you seen, I'll get an image up here. I believe I sent it to KT very recently. So in terms of, maybe it was in Instagram. Yeah, in terms of needing to go through hell in order to experience heaven, there is wisdom in that. So I think they call it, it's like the kind of the law of polarity, the yin and yang. Say trees, you can imagine, like, the strongest, henchest tree, tallest tree will likely have the deepest roots. I'll try and get an image up here. So I understand what you mean, yeah. Everything needs contrast. Just that statement alone, I heard from Spectrum, a rapper, contrast rapper community. Everything needs contrast. That's true. Like, what a simple statement with so much wisdom. And the more you contemplate it and visualize, the more you just, like, this is why scriptures are just the holy grail and stuff. But anyway, here we go. So in order to experience heaven, you have to experience hell. You can intuit that without me going too deeply onto that topic. But yeah, I'm totally with you. But they want you to feel shit. This is all done for distraction. All done to prevent you from searching the truth. I can't remember. I should have got to that comment sooner. I don't know what you were on about exactly. Oh, yeah. About the Hollywood in contrast to the slums type thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's so crazy. Like, one of the main things that, like, in terms of helping your pain and your heart hurting and stuff, and is, like, basically, this is a lot that divides families and stuff potentially, and I mean that's kind of the agenda in a way, is divide and conquer. Again, take a lot of the conspiracy stuff with grains of salt in terms of like, I don't know if there's some like parasitic archons that are trying to kill everyone, or like someone's just traumatized and just deeply unconscious, and like where it's hard to know exactly like if there's an agenda, or like Aubrey Marcus has a podcast called The Failed Love Story at the Root of All Evil. I see that in people in my life who have been through like relationship trauma, and they end up becoming resentful, hateful people because they do not heal from losing their lover. And this can result in resentment and death urge. Not just suicidal, but like you actually externalize that. I have a deep intuition that there are dark forces, like spiritual warfare, where like I don't understand, like, because I said to Mr. Nature, I was like, how is it, like, I'm looking at the ingredients of the food that is sold around here, and there's like 30 odd ingredients, like, for example, yeah, like my mum has in the cupboard like powdered cheese sauce, right? Look at the ingredients and I'm like, what is going on in this place, man? Like, how... Mr. Nature says everything needs contrast, which is obviously, like, that's what I mean, like, there's so many different levels. There's like the relative level from separation, like I'm over here, the external world's out there, and then there's like this higher, like, God level, metaphysical, where it's like everything needs contrast. It's like where it's like, yeah, there may be toxic things in the external world that are like, but then again, like, is the whole thing being dreamt within God's mind in like a very metaphysical way? It's hard to know what level to be at, and you actually move from level to level. Ram Dass says that each level is only kind of relatively real, and this can help clear up a lot of the confusion in terms of awakening. It's like there are different levels. There's like absolute levels, which is access via meditation, breathwork, or psychedelics, and that's like some next level metaphysical stuff. But we spend most of our time in the lower dimensions, and helping understand that for me has helped me like understand my awakenings, and a lot of the confusion that comes with that is like based on your own internal vibration and frequency, so to speak, is dictating almost like what level you are on. You can raise your vibration and frequency via breathing, via diet, via psychedelics, etc., via meditation, contemplation, observation. You can like move your awareness. That's like the techniques of the yogis. It's like learning through like, yeah, methods of yoga. See Leo Gura's video on the importance of real yoga. He deconstructs the difference between Western yoga that a lot of us know in this culture, and then this like yoga that is solely for the mind, where like you breathe, you can stretch potentially, or like, for example, a form of yoga I'm not super familiar is like mantra. Like, I don't know how it's supposed to go, but like, say, I haven't done it super loads myself, but like, if you just like, it's basically like hyper focus, where you literally dissolve all separation and all boundaries via maybe chanting. So if you just sit there and you absolutely concentrate on like this point or something, or wherever, or just the audio, and you just sit there for literally 3 hours straight and just go Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, or something. I don't even know how it's fucking meant to go, but it's just an example. You just sit there and just go Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. I can't remember how it went. That's like how Ram Dass says it. But yeah, I mean, there's loads of different ones. But you just end up like becoming. I thought I knew how to do it better than how I did it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I can't even say it. But thank you for clearing that up. Why am I even on about that? I'm still not good, like, I'm still so sporadic, kind of, with the way that I speak. But I'm trying to keep track of what I have said. I'll try and get back around to it. I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm on about, partly. This has been a weird one. I never premeditate it. That's partly why I struggle, because I just, yeah, the real yoga. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. I just don't remember, like, why it was even relevant. Yes, you can fucking join. Please do. Sorry, I'm gonna have to accept Katie, because I did press accept if you want to join. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of stemmed off. I likely could recover how I ended up getting to where I'm getting to. But a lot of it is partly the comments. They kind of, yeah, Instagram might be a bit broken. I have accepted your request, Katie, but I kind of hate Instagram. So yeah, sorry if I haven't done the bestest job today. So yeah, even if a lot of the conspiracies aren't inherently true, it's clear that a lot of people's situation on this earth, like Earth is in a time of crisis. Even those who don't entertain conspiracy theories are aware of the reality of, like, see, that's the thing. Even like, it doesn't matter what side you're on. If you're left wing or right wing or none, if you're a conspiracy theorist or if you're a globalist, it's like every single angle is saying that Earth is in crisis. Even if climate change is not real, I don't know exactly where I stand on that inherently. I don't know what's propaganda. Like, the thing is, the way that the devil can work often, as Leo says, is like it hides within fragments of truth. So you can, like, for example, climate change, I'm sure to an extent is real. But then where the devil hides is it uses, like, legitimate facts on climate change, and then it goes, therefore the solution is, and then it kind of hides in the midst of the truth. So I can bring forth, like, factual claims that you can validate yourself, but then I can, like, sprinkle in a bit of my own like, conclusions that I jump to, and I hide it in the truth. So, like, yeah, you end up, like, it's like self-deception. Yeah, I'm not sure, Katie, why it's not letting you join. I pressed accept so many times. I wish I could stay on topic more. I don't know why I'm struggling so much for this. It's partly why I never know if to do it on Instagram Live or to do a video, because, like, it can kind of hinder the process partly. I don't know. So yeah, I was. So what I was saying is, regardless of if you want to entertain conspiracy theories or not, New Earth actualization is what we need. That's true. Humanity is sick. It's clear. Stop living in your fucking bubble and research and expose yourself to things outside of your bubble. Otherwise, you're never going to get a taste for anything outside of your bubble, and you don't even know that you're stuck. So there are a lot of rough areas that are dealing with so much poverty that are very local to us. Again, even war zones such as Gaza are on the same planet as us. It's kind of the collective consciousness. We're all the Kali Yuga. Yes. I'm still trying to accept you. I don't know what's going on. So regardless of if it's some mad conspiracy of some like reptilian parasitic archons, or whether it's just greed of selfishness, it doesn't really matter. I think it's clear that there's a lot of dis-ease. It's not just I think it's clear. Again, just look at the documentaries that are so extensive. Again, in Britain where I live, there's like a lot of people, for example, that are getting prosecuted for selling drugs or stealing. It's like you're actually prosecuting the symptom. It's like the medical industry again. It's like you're plastering, yeah, if by prosecuting drug dealers and shoplifters, like the only reason they have to do that is because they're being neglected, because humanity is in the dark ages. So like we're spending money and like investing so much in prosecuting like what? People who don't know how else to get by, because you're literally born into a concrete grid maze. Like if you're born into a ghetto and you start selling drugs, how is it your fault? Like, yeah, a lot of people out, it's like, what are your options? It's fucking sell your soul and like your whole mind and become your wage slave job, or try and do something on the side a bit, like that potentially maybe outside of law a little bit, like selling even weed. Like the fact that like even weed and psychedelics are illegal, like I've had like the beauty and the enlightenment that I've experienced with psychedelics and magic mushrooms, and when I'm in the midst of that, I'm like, this is illegal. What the fuck? And it's shit like that. Like the reason why it can help so much to understand a lot of what I'm talking about is because a lot of us are busy blaming ourselves, especially when you take into account the personal development scene, which are some of the thickest people out here, to be honest. A lot of them are very 3D, and a lot of them are not like conspiratorial minded at all, in the sense of what I'm saying is we're busy blaming ourselves for our perceived shortcomings, when to a large extent we are actually a victim to the system that we're born into. Yes, a lot of people do rise up and get financial success, but a lot of these people who are winning entrepreneurially have still sold their souls. Like, it's like, yeah, you've got loads of money and like you're on the personal development full blast, great, but you're not actually like consciously progressing humanity. Barely. A lot of these people, they're not speaking up about corruption, they're not actually pioneering anything new. They're just like they're just like making YouTube videos that are completely like aligned with the terms of service, so they're not stepping out of line. And they're like, what a lot of these personal development channels are doing are actually feeding off of mainly young men's insecurities. Not inherently young men, but like the masculine ideal of getting better. This self-improvement stems from that you need to improve in the first place. And you do, self-improvement is a good thing, but it's like these personal development channels, like what I'm saying is why it helps to understand these slums, and these slums that are often next door, if not you're in one. Just because it doesn't look like a slum don't mean nothing. Like, they still mandated a curfew, didn't they? 10 p.m. you must be inside. The entire population, at least, well, essentially globally, like, but at least on where I am in Britain, like everyone was essentially forced to get a poisonous injection, and I'm still not allowed to say that. Which, by the it fucking absolutely blows my mind, by the way. I can't upload on YouTube, by the way, now for a long time. I'm going to show you my termination email recently. They already terminated my last YouTube channel for speaking up against the COVID scamdemic. So recently they removed a video. I put up Illuminati Congo's song called No Vaccines, and they weren't a fan of that. Right. But yeah, let me just wrap up this point super quick. I haven't got long. My phone is going to die soon. But yeah, so in terms of the personal development and the conspiracy type of thinking and the wealth disparity and contrast of cultures across the world, etc., it's like a lot of us, like these personal development channels, so-called personal development channels, can be so self-deceptive because it seems like they're helping you on the surface. Same with like potentially Leo Gura. You got to understand, like you got to take everyone you're listening to with a grain of salt. Like we've all got a lot more to learn, and we will continue to learn with time. And like, where don't ever put absolute authority in like nearly anyone. Don't let anyone really tell you exactly how it is, because you got to leave room where, like, I don't know, if someone earns your trust and you end up like putting absolute authority into them, you can actually like they will program you. Well, like these personal development channels, it seems like they're helping you, and a lot of them are, and they have good intentions, but a lot of them are not speaking about deeper issues. They're just saying like, if you don't put in the discipline, you're going to be fucked, and then you're going to regret it. And that's true, but what about the vaccine mandate? Like, and most of them are not speaking up about that. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm this has been kind of unhinged. I feel like I've done a decent job. Anyway, hello, Inspector Veg. Oi, Inspector Veg, join the fucking thing, bro, so I can have a podcast with you. So anyway, I've got 2 active community guidelines on my main channel. That was my second channel, but my main channel got deleted. So yeah, it's funny. It's so funny. So like, look, get this right. So Bill Gates eugenics. I didn't even manipulate the video. So anyway, this video is being taken down for violating community guidelines. What? Don't say the V word. I know, bro. I know. I know it's too late. I know. This is what I'm getting taken down for, bro. Look, conscious rapper community, fam. I got medical misinformation, bro. They're actually already coming for the conscious rapper community, bro. Anyway, so get this here. So, right, understand this, yeah? This is mad. Actually understand this, yeah? I uploaded a clip of Bill Gates doing a lecture. It wasn't even like edited like at all, essentially. Like, well, a little bit, but not really. It's just Bill Gates on stage. And look, I'll show you the fucking video. It's still on my Instagram, right? Watch this little clip for a second, please. So, because this is really important. I really want to communicate this. I haven't got long. My phone's about to fucking die. So bear with me, yeah? But this is important. For me. I need to communicate this. I'll communicate it more in the future, right? So this little video I put on my YouTube, right?
This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, you want to get to 0. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to 0. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to 0. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Hold up. What?
This equation has 4.
That was it. So the reason I show this to you is because YouTube took that video down. Right, that's Bill Gates. There was not really any editing. Editing's not relevant. It's just that's what Bill Gates said
This equation
on
has four
stage, bro. Right, and I updated the caption for that. So I said YouTube took this down and gave me a strike for this. Now I can't upload for 2 weeks. The explanation that YouTube gave me for taking the video down is the video don't match up with the World Health Organization. And this is literally it. So if I can, right here, I'm reading this from YouTube. When I got my medical misinformation strike for that, it says YouTube doesn't allow content that poses a risk of, I can't even fucking read that, egregious harm. That contradicts local health authorities, right? Or the World Health Organization, right? So YouTube's guidelines are directly synced and tied with the World Health Organization, right? Do you know who funds the World Health Organization? Bill Gates. And like this is solid. I've observed this for fucking a long time. This is not just something on, like, this is not one example. Like, I can't even find everything, but it's like, look, I'm calling out Bill Gates, yeah? And the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is responsible for over 88% of the total amount donated by philanthropic organizations, philanthropic foundations to the World Health Organization, sorry. That bit's not exactly. Anyway, Bill Gates funds the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization dictates what is allowed on YouTube. Therefore, when I upload a video of Bill Gates exposing Bill Gates onto YouTube, he funds YouTube's terms of service, so it's not allowed. It's like, how do they call it? It's not a strange loop. What's the right way to call it? It's like self-enforcing, basically. But yeah, I'm just saying. So, but yeah, I don't know where the fuck can I find it, man. YouTube Studio, medical misinformation. Some of it as well, like some of it's mad. Yeah, I got this with like child safety. Yeah, it don't even make any sense. It actually makes 0 sense. Like I tried to, like I can't show you the video, but like it literally don't make any sense. Like it was just a fuck. Like that's what I mean. Like before, I've had my old YouTube channel taken down, and they literally give you strikes that make 0 sense. Like they can just give you a strike and say, "Child safety," where, and then you like, and it's so long to fucking try and fix it. It's like it's not even worth it. It's like I just have to like, I'm just gonna do my thing. Like, and that's what I mean. I'm not gonna like sell myself to your terms of service so that I can succeed on your platform, because the last thing I'm going to do is feed the matrix. I don't care how rich it makes me. I'm not going to feed the matrix. I don't want to like, I'd rather have purpose in my life and my actions than for personal ego satisfaction. But yeah, I mean, I'm struggling right now. But I mean, I think everyone's gone anyway at the minute, but yeah, I'm gonna go in a second. But yeah, it's just that's it. I've had it loads of times. Yeah, it says like, so even if you speak out against the COVID vaccine, YouTube will still pull that down, saying you are contradicting World Health Organization approved safe and effective vaccines. But it's like, are they just slow? Because it's been long since they've been far from proven safe and effective. I'm pretty sure there's a website called insafeandineffective.org or unsafeandineffective.org. Yeah, no, there you go. Unsafeandineffective.com. The biggest lie ever sold. That is genius. This is by Aubrey Marcus. But that's what I mean. But like YouTube is still taking down my videos, saying that I am saying that they're not safe and not effective. It's like, yeah, because they're not. But like you're still not allowed to say it. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm happy that I spoke a bit at least and gave an update, but yeah, I'm sorry if it wasn't the bestest update. But I'm gonna do a lot more videos soon. I got a lot more to say, so I appreciate everyone who tuned in. My phone is about to die, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, that's it. Just hang in there and have faith and know that you can change whenever you decide to change. You have the power to change your thoughts. You can reinvent yourself whenever you want. You don't have to be a victim to anything external. You are the ultimate authority. You are eternally sovereign. You dictate what you think. It's a grand illusion on many levels, but you have to ask yourself what is within your paradigm. Is prayer valid? Are we material? Are we dream? Your paradigm is dictating what you allow yourself to think. I'm gonna go. I love you.